Hi, thanks for tuning in to my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing, also known as Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle. I've been known by a lot of names. However, unlike some people, I don't change who I am depending on the name. I can't. I had that head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000. So, thankfully, the guys and not being sexist, it's an East Coast term. So thankfully the guys at FetLife were able to get me into my original account. And so I went through my original account, and ironically, it was extremely weird. After going through some of the messages that had been there, that I hadn't been able to check, or thought to for various reasons, I thought maybe I should try to find which particular account was someone who I had dated at one point in time. And the irony is, I actually clicked on a message because I was just going to go down the list and just, well, maybe that's this process of elimination. I'll click on this one and I'll find out, and maybe something. Ironically, the first name I click on, as far as an older message from, I was like, oh, I think that's the guy. And then, because I saw the name and went through and read it. And then I read the response, which the response to his message is not from me. Very quickly, as far as like an ease of many different reasons. First off, there's the fact that in the message is about the Miami, Florida scene. I've only been to the Miami Zoo, and I think the Coral Castle is also in the Miami area. However, the only time I was in that area of Florida was during the first and only family vacation that I took my son, my daughter, and my niece on before going to scuba dive in the Vandenberg area, in the Matthias Abyss, where it's in the Bermuda Triangle. But I had not gone into the scene when I was there because I was with my son, my daughter, and my niece, and it was a family vacation, so there was no excuse, in my opinion, for me to even think about going to any event there. Not only that, at that time, I was actually in a relationship, and so I would not have gone because that wasn't discussed that particular year about that. I mean, we didn't solidify the relationship as far as like a one-on-one sort of thing. Nonetheless, it was one of those, I didn't go. I could have, probably, but that was the furthest thing from my thoughts at the time as far as any of that. And it's not in any offense towards anybody in the BDSM, LGBTQP, or swinger lifestyles. I'm not the only person who has, responsibilities, and in that regard, children. So in that, it was one of those, I just didn't I didn't bring any of my corsets. I didn't bring any of my outfits, nothing. It was never even a thought process before actually going out there. So the only other time that I was in Florida that I technically would have, I don't know if Orlando is that close to Miami, but I was out there for cavern scuba diving and instructions to do so properly. And especially since I was feeling what I was feeling in reference to the Vandenberg scuba dive and the after effects of that, it was one of those, again, not even a thought process at the time. It wasn't even oh, hey, while we're out here, could we go? That never crossed my mind. So, in just that message, there's those aspects that, mm-mm. Then there was some stuff in reference to the male that I was involved with. I'm guesstimating as far as the reference point in that message. Granted, it's from years ago, but I just kind of feel like there needs to be that clarification. So, I would not have written that. Mainly because I am not the type of person who usually goes into that. And I won't put that in that. I know I've discussed it later, like, meaning 2019. But that's 2019. That's not back in whatever year that was. I think it was like back in 2013 or 2014 or something like that. And at that time, it wasn't even my laptop because in 2013, Best Buy had told me I couldn't buy any more laptops. Because no, I take that back. They told me I could buy laptops, I just couldn't buy the accidental warranty. And because I was in Washington State, it was one of those, no, 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 no. As many issues as I have with technology, I am not about to buy a laptop. And no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. So, if that guy even whatever, I mean, I kind of figure he was he could get any female he wanted. I mean, he had the, you know, stuff, like whatever, you know. But nonetheless, like there were it just although I thought I saw him in Washington State. I did. I thought I saw him in Washington State. But he's also a scuba diver, so maybe that's another thing. But yeah, I did not write anything as far as that particular message in response to his message because, well, I didn't get involved in the Miami scene. I mean, I was looking at moving to Florida after a bunch of stuff had occurred. But then there was that cowboy dance hall thing. And why I was looking to move to Florida was for my son and I to, like, deal with things, and also in part because of, crossing my fingers, wishing that maybe my ex-sister-in-law, Mary Evangelina Nichols Osteen, would actually go along with what the CPS people told me to tell her. So if I was out in, Florida, that would, like, show that in that regard. But, obviously that didn't happen on either aspect as far as going to Florida, as well as, my ex-sister-in-law, Mary Evangelina Nichols Osteen, even attempting. Though I would not be surprised if there were certain things in regards to my ex-sister-in-law, but that's a whole other ball of wax. Nonetheless, that particular guy, he could have gotten any female. I mean, I'm sure that there were females that would just drop at whatever. I didn't even know that he had liked me at the time until he said something. That was... So, but then I'm also weird, and that's a whole other ball of wax. And yeah, okay, I fell hard for that one. I don't deny that. I actually showed him my emotions and stuff like that. Aside from saving his life. But that's a whole other thing. That's just a whole other... That's a whole other ball of wax in that regard. But not the poofy fish saving of life, but the, like, literally, physically saved his life. But that's, like, that's whatever it is. But yeah, so I'm just clarifying that. I knew people who were involved with the Miami scene, and they were mainly in Club Femme, the ones that I knew that had something to do with the Miami scene, up and down the Florida area. But then again, my ex-sister-in-law, Mary Evangelina Nichols Osteen, lived in Georgia, and she had been in the lifestyle forever long she had been in. So I just thought that I needed to clarify that, if it's even of any importance, but it is what it is. Anyway, so yeah. Ta-da. I have issues with technology, and I wasn't even allowed to do updates on that laptop. That was my now ex-boyfriend, the one that was met at that Cowboys dance hall thing. Like, I wasn't, like, he set it up with, like, there would be the little update thing, like, it would have a little notification thingamabob, and I'd go to click on it, and it had to have a password. And so then I'd get in trouble leaving the room to go ask for the update thing. But that is what it is. So I just am clarifying that for whatever it's worth. Anyway, you guys have a good one. If it's even seen. Comment, like, share, and subscribe to my official YouTube channel. I'm Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady MeeLing, Dori, God. Anyway, you guys have I mean, who else has walked on top of quicksand and the ocean other than God? I mean, I was the first live Jesus Christ in the Old Tenet Presbyterian Church drive-through nativity in the 1980s. So, Jesus Christ, Lord of Lords, horse, blah, 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 host of hosts, blah, 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 blah. And then you could make a joke about Thanksgiving and irony in regards to Club Fam. Anyway, have a good one.